Welcome, Hoarders. Today we're going to be playing some more Gran Turismo Sport, and today we're going to be doing some, it's going to be the Samba Bus Type 2 and the Volkswagen Beetle race. Well, it's the Beetle and Samba Bus race. So, I do already have the vehicle that I chose for this. Yes, I have two of each, but I'm going to be using the blue bus. This one I have for drifting, oddly enough. And the reason that I'm going with the bus is because they have the same power as, like, the bus has the same power as the Beetle, and the bus is significantly heavier. So I decided I'm going to go with the bus, purely so I have less of a chance of winning, to make it a little more difficult for myself. So I'm going to be doing it that way. So it'll just be more difficult. I already said that, but, you know, it's a loading screen. What else am I going to say? And I finally have the microphone issue sorted out. The problem was the microphone its fucking self. I kept thinking, I'm like, it's gotta be the wire. It's just gotta be the wire. I switched to wires. I resoldered the one wire 1.5 billion times. So it ends up being that the microphone itself is part of the problem. So I'm gonna have to do some Googling and see what component that it would be that would make it have a static sound constantly. I looked at the, like, small motherboard inside the microphone, and I could not see anything that looked burnt out or anything that looked odd. No wires were messed up or anything like that, unless they used really cheap solder, because I know if you use cheap solder, the wire will just corrode somehow inside of the solder and stop working correctly, which could be the problem. So I might rerun some solder over it. But that's really frustrating, because for a few days there, I was just soldering the wire over and over and over and not understanding why it wasn't working. But I found out now. So honestly, I could have probably just left that wire completely alone, and would have had zero problems with it. But what I did was I swapped. I have a microphone that I use by all my consoles, which I use a lot more often than my actual computer one. The computer microphone I really only use for, I only use that for the Grand Theft Auto 5 Testing Tuesday videos, and usually anything that's recorded on my PC. So I don't know. I have other microphones in mind that I would rather have, but I'm going to have to save up to get one of those. I just have no idea what's wrong with that microphone now. It just decided to give up on me and have a constant crackling sound. I'm actually doing this video for the second time because of that. And I just messed around with it a couple minutes ago and found out that was a problem. Oh, and before I forget, I keep forgetting to mention it. I opened a Discord chat, or channel, whatever you call it. So if you're interested in joining my Discord, I have a link in the description below the video. Okay, on to the second race. Come on now, Betsy. This one, the first time I did, I was doing some nice little drifts. I was thinking about switching over to the Beetle, purely because I love the Beetle so much. Like, that's one of my favorite cars, and I just think there's something beautiful about them. I don't know what it is. I know there's people out there, though, that are like, German car? No. But the only problem with the Beetles is really the engine block itself. They're made out of magnesium, which is not good for an engine. Not good at all. It's highly at risk of catching fire. I believe it was magnesium. I'm pretty sure it was magnesium. Maybe I'll Google in between this race and the next race. Because magnesium is what they use to, like, for sparks, for fires, right? Yeah. Like flint and steel. Like that type of thing. Pretty sure that's what it is. Either that or I just made a fool of myself. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. We're gonna win this, no problem. I already went through all these races just before I was fiddling with my microphone. And it was pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. I do have the AI set to be as difficult as they can be, but obviously they don't know how to set up their cars correctly, because I am crushing them. Sure, it would have been. I might have to start looking at like their max horsepower and stuff, like I do on Gran Turismo 5, like to see what the average opponent will be. That way I don't make my vehicle like OP like I did this time, I guess. I set it up thinking it would be a lot more fair because all of us are going to be using the same vehicles. Obviously that's not what's happening. Drifting the bus. Need to switch back to first. It's so hard to use that view. But it sure drifts pretty good with these tires, I'd say that. For sure. They have an oh shit handle back there. I wonder what, is there no, huh. There must not be any windshield wiper thing. I thought there would be, because there was in the older games. Like Gran Turismo 5, there was a button to turn your wipers on. I think it was just R3, the right joystick, press that down. On our last lap, try to get some decent drifts, which I had one until I went into the grass. That's a good one. That's a good one for being a bus. Let's be fair here. It is a bus. I think I would consider it more of a van, though. I was doing a car show. I don't know if it was on a stream or not, but I was doing a car show with some people, and they said bring out your drift car, and I brought out my drift bus, and someone was like, props to the guy who nailed that drift around the turn in the bus. I was like, yeah, boy. If you set it up right, it can do what you want it to do. Come on, Bessie. I bet if we had another lap or two, I could lap a couple people. I was close to lapping people at the end of the last race. And across the line. On to the third race. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 100% positive I have these set for the hardest difficulty, which I think is also why they put me in last place at the beginning of every one of these races. Because I remember Gran Turismo 5, you would start like dead in the middle of all the cars. And the only time you would start in last is if you were in one of the seasonal events. Those Beetles, I just love them. I don't know why. Like, the more I see them, I'm like, yep, that's a great car. I actually would love to get one. Get me a good old manual Beetle. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. But I don't think I would get the 1966 version. I would want the ones with the, come on, fucker. I think it's 1965, actually, that has the different type of headlights. The headlights have, like, a little, like, louver thing over the top of the headlight that kind of looks like an eyelash. Like a thick, single eyelash type thing. I see two cars. Come on, Bessie. Betsy the bus. See you, suckers. Actually, today I have to go outside after, I promised myself after I do this video, I'm going to render it, and while it's rendering, I'm going to go outside and realign the door on my car. Because the previous owner replaced the door by just switching the pins. They pulled the pins out, and that way you don't have to take the fender off. They did it the lazy way, which the door doesn't fit correctly because they did it like that. And they left it go like that as well. So I have to lift the door up about 1/4 of an inch to get it to seat properly, because when you drive it, if you're going at a higher speed, the wind just goes right through the side of the door because they don't have it seated correctly. So when you shut it, the seal doesn't hit all the way around like it's supposed to. And that just, that's one of the most annoying things. Why couldn't they have just done it correctly so I don't have to fucking go out of my way to do it? But oh well. So I gotta do that. I also have to fix the passenger side door as well. Because something happened where if you pull the handle from the outside, it won't open the door on the passenger side. So you have to use the handle from the inside, which isn't a problem because it's the passenger side. It's only a problem on the driver's side if that was to happen. Which I did already once have to change all the locks out on it, which was interesting. It wasn't really difficult at all, but for someone that has fucking big hands, it was annoying. Okay. And we won the last race as well. So I actually beat all those races twice and came in first place every single one of them. We got 15K that time. Last time I got 10K. Coolio. Okay, so now let's go back. Maybe we got the daily award, or daily reward car. And we did. We didn't get it last time. I don't want the Ford in the back. And I don't want the Supra to the left. Of course I got the Ford. Of course I got the Ford. Of fucking course, because I already own the fucker. I think I already own it. Let's see if I already own it. I'm pretty sure I do. Either way, I really didn't want it. Manufacturer. Yep, I already had one. Motherfucker. I hate that shit. They should have it where you just can't win the same car twice. Because I have 2 of those. I have... I thought I had a lot more... Yeah, I have 3 Subaru Imprezas. I actually won one of the buses, I think. It was either one of the buses or one of the cars. After I already bought one. But I could never get the cars I really want. Doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, I have 2 of the Roadsters. Mazda Roadsters. I can't... There's nothing really else to do. Next episode, we need... The category is to have a car with a rotary engine. So I already have the Mazda RX-7 picked out for that. So that's what we're going to be using next Monday. But that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click one of my previous, next, and related videos. And don't forget to check out my other social medias in the description down below.